I'm not excited about this. But, we did win it. Also, look at my shirt, y'all. Anyway. Thanks, Aldwin. I feel a lot less stressed now, she said and smiled. Then she walks upstairs and left us two alone. Vilkas frowned a bit. I'll be making dinner tonight. Who's the stupid twin again? I can't remember. I didn't really care for the companions, so I will not remember. Anyway. Gods be damned if I'd let you cook. Divines would sound better, but whatever. Vilkas growled at him. You might try to poison all of us. He's a fucking dragon. The only way he knows how to cook is probably to breathe fire on shit until he dies. Anyway. This prompted a laugh from Aldwin. As if I would do such a thing to my maid's precious pet, he mocked. Damn, bro. You know you can take the kids and go, right? Like I said, Skyrim ain't got no child support and no child custody laws. You on your own. He mocked. Vilkas growled his out. He's turning into that of a wolf dick bag. He growled and went upstairs. Aldwin grinned, feeling victorious, and he went upstairs following the hound. How about a little wager? Aldwin asked calmly. What kind of wager? Vilkas responded with a noise in his voice. A cooking competition. Whichever one of us makes the best meal for Mirth and the children gets to sleep in bed tonight. Loser sleeps in the guest bed I saw upstairs, he said, grinning as he had already won. Vilkas found you're on. This author can't even spell the name of their OC right. I'm not gonna shit on them too hard because I still can't spell some of the Dragon City names. Anyway. Mirth loves my cooking, he said and grinned confidently. Later, Mirth and the children were sitting at a large dinner table, waiting for Aldwin and Vilkas to finish cooking. Vilkas finished first, bringing out 4 bowls of vegetable soup. Aldwin was still working on his meal in the kitchen. Mirth ate her bowl of vegetable soup, smiling to her husband. It's good as always, my dear, she said happily. The kids nodded in agreement. Vilkas ate his own soup as he was waiting for Aldwin to bring out his meal. Suddenly, a boom was heard from the kitchen, followed by the sound of fire making something crackle. Aldwin had used Yol. Yeah, that's actually surprisingly in character. But I also feel like he would be the type of person that thinks he's too good to cook. That's for the, for the servants, y'all. Mirth turned her head as Aldwin came out holding something in a tray. It looked like plain bread loaves, only larger. He gave one to Mirth first, placing a smaller plate on it. He did the same for the children, and then also gave one to Vilkas. Vilkas mentally cussed at the damn dragon. How dare he upstage him in manners? Vilkas looked at Mirth closely as he was about to take her first bite of the bread. He didn't smell any poison, but the dragon could have used something scentless. After her first bite, Vilkas noticed Mirth's eye widened. Mirth, is something wrong? He asked worriedly, noticing a smug look on Aldwin's face. Mirth swallowed her bite and had a large smile appear in her breath. That's probably autocorrect, Edinburgh cheese and diced grilled leeks in this bread. It has salted butter, on top. It's delicious, she said excitedly and started to eat more of it. The children followed suit. Dude, this man must like the cuck chair, because... Vilkas picked up his own, giving it a sniff before tasting it a bit. It took all his strength as a man to moment at the exquisite taste. What is this? Food Wars? By the gods, it was delicious. Vilkas looked at Aldwin and then hung his head and feet, wondering where a dragon could have learned how to cook like that. Yeah, me too. You think, besides the hobbies of, world domination and calling the Dovahkiin shit in Dovahzul, he'd have time to learn how to cook, but... Aldwin smirked proudly, then spoke. I'll cook more tomorrow. I'm sure you'll like my other dishes as well, he said. Mirth nodded, too happy with the delicious meal to notice her defeated husband. Vilkas looked up and thought to himself how this was going to be a long and painful compromise with the world leader. Maybe that's why he was called that. You could just leave! Damn! Bro, you're like the girl that constantly gets cheated on and she blames everybody but the fucking man that's cheating on her. Anyway. Y'all are lucky I'm getting paid for this. Just kidding. I'm not. I'm not gonna bother to say that. Apparently the English translation is Flies the Sky of Chainmail. And of course, here is my bestie, the person correcting their really bad Dovahzul. This is wrong. Anyway, shout out to that person. I hope that your pillow is cold on both sides and your sheets keep you warm. A couple days had passed. Vilkas and Alwyn were almost fighting for Murph's attention. Yep, this was definitely written by someone who doesn't know men. 9 out of 10. 9 times out of 10, Alwyn won, especially since he could use the mark to instantly calm Mirth of anything that worried her. When Vilkas had first seen the mark, he attempted to brawl with the world leader. Dude, you are fighting way too hard for a woman that belongs in the streets. Like, where the fuck are your balls? Alwyn knocked him on his ass for simply using foos. His foos was not even a shout, it was merely a whisper so he wouldn't hurt the over-emotional Jorehound. On this day, Alwyn stood below a tall cliff near Murph's home. He was in his dragon form. Vilkas was standing next to him, biting his fingernails nervously. Alwyn scoffed a bit. What a terrible habit to have. He looked up at the cliff to see Mirth. She was clutching the rocks tightly in her hands. I don't think I can do this. I'm too nervous, she yelled at the men below. Alwyn let an impatient growl. I already taught you the first word of power for this. Now shout and join the world as more than a Jor. He yelled at her impatiently. Mirth gripped the rocks tighter and bit her lip. Alwyn sighed as he felt the urge to fly up there and carry her down. His mate was stressed and he was causing it. However, he needed to resist his mate instincts right now, as he was her teacher, not her mate. I feel like I'm reading one of those really fucking bad werewolf romances. Like, you know, the sex scenes written by a virgin, no idea how men work, characters that just suck. And when it comes to fanfictions, characters that are totally out of character to the point where you don't even recognize the character anymore. I'm done. Alwyn rumbled impatiently once more, looking at her. Am I going to have to foos? You know, you could just say force. You off there, he hissed off. Vilkas frowned at the dark dragon. That was incredibly black. Nah, that's more like him. Mirth took a gulp of air as she was shaking nervously. I think I need more support, she said softly as she looked up at the top cliff to see the two men she loved. Loved Alduin. That was something she never expected to think or feel. Suddenly she shouted. Y'all, it is becoming really, really hard to want to finish this shit. we will do this. That was a new shout, not the shout he taught her. A word came from the sky as a red dova landed on the ground near Mirth. She backed up from the cliff for a moment when suddenly the red dragon used its nose to push her towards the edge of the cliff. I called you here to help me, not to scare the shit out of me and push me off a damn cliff. Oh, bitch, you want to learn how to fly or no? She snapped at the dragon. The dragon chuckled. It sounded familiar to Alwyn, so did the dragon sense. He realized who it was. It was Odahviing, one of his most trusted generals. Alwyn chuckled throatly, then spoke. I'm not gonna bother to read that, because Lord knows I can't speak English sometimes. Here's a translation for the ones who don't know Dovazol. Odahviing, do you like haunting the weak mortal as she attempts to fly as a dragon? Thank you to the person who's shitting on this other lady for badly translating stuff. Anyway. Odahviing flew down to his old master, leaving Mirth up on the cliff. Alwyn 3, Odahviing said in shock. Such time passed, I thought you long dead, he admitted. Alwyn chuckled at that. Even the Dova King could not end my life forever, Odahviing. Well, no, the point of the Dragonborn was basically just to put Alduin in timeout for not doing his fucking job, like. He responded to his old friend. Mirth looked down at both of them and frowned. Hello, I'm kind of stuck up here, she screamed. Alduin looked at her, flying to get her. She grabbed his neck and sighed in relief until she noticed Alduin's devilish grin. Oh, Akatosh, what is she had fallen for? Suddenly, Alduin swung his head, causing Mirth to go flying in the sky. She screamed over Indovizol and felt something in her change. Too bad she didn't hit the ground and go splat, and then everybody suffering. She wasn't falling or flailing her arms anymore. She was flapping. Alduin flipped her, bumping her with his nose. Boca saw that, causing Alduin to grow his eyes. It wasn't sexual like the hound was thinking. He was simply trying to get her to relax and try moving forward. It's something old Dova did when helping a newborn or previously injured Dova fly. Alduin looked at Mirth and noticed she was starting to get the hang of it. She started to move forward by moving her wings, which were now joined to her arms like a Dova, in the right direction. And technically being nitpicky here, but that would make them wyverns, not dragons. Dragons have 6 limbs, wyverns have 4. But who cares? Because, you know, like I said before, logic is totally out the fucking window with this piece of shit. Olin purred in happiness. This is good. She was a fast learner once she put her fears aside. Y'all, I really am gonna need a drink. Ugh. Alduin and Mirth flew with together. God damn it, do you not spell check this shit? Nope. For quite some time, he could tell Mirth was enjoying herself and had missed the sky since she had not flown on a dragon once in a while. That's what bend will is for. Alduin soon was forced to make her land. It was late, and if she got too exhausted, it could hurt the unborn child. You know, as much as they claim as they care for the clump of cells in her uterus, they do everything in their power to endanger it. Letting her grab onto his neck with wing arms, Alduin landed on the ground just a soft thud. Mirth smiled at him as he changed back to his mortal form, and then she hugged him tightly and said, I'd happily. Thank you. That was amazing. Thank you for getting me to fly, she whispered in a tired voice. Alduin smiled warmly, picking her up in her arms. It's no problem, Dovahkiin. You are more Dova than Jor now, he said, and carried her inside. Mirth then turned to see a man with long red hair and red dragon scale armor following behind them. Odahvic? She whispered in confusing. You mean she was confused? Oh my god. The man nodded and chuckled. You do not think Alduin is the only Jova who can turn into a Jor like you, he teased. Mirth pouted and then smiled. I'm too tired to be mad at your teasing, she admitted. While carrying her to the bedroom, Alduin heard her snoring softly. It wasn't obnoxious to him, it was kind of cute. After all, she was sleeping soundly and the snoring was soft. Then he looked to see Velka standing in the bedroom doorway. I'm sleeping with her tonight, World Leader. I married her first, he growled. Again, fighting for a hoe. No comment. Alduin laid Mirth on the bed and stretched. Alright, then he headed downstairs. Velka's jaw dropped. The dragon had some actual manners and didn't try to challenge him. That was odd. Very odd. You're assuming that would be a challenge. Like, this man is supposed to be able to eat the whole fucking world. I don't think a dog would be that hard to kill. I mean, the Silverhand fucking did it. I don't see why a fucking World Leader wouldn't. And the Silverhand is just a bunch of crazy bandits. Alright, I'm gonna go get a drink because if I have to keep reading this, I'm gonna need something to make it through.